go. And there we go. Alright, here we go. Ah, see. I was wondering why you were so silent. Emoto was so silent. Emoto was ignoring us. Little sister was not paying attention to me.
Do you have a sister complex?
I told you, I do have a sister complex.
Oh yeah, that's what I forgot. Whoops.
Yep. It is why he locks me in the closet. Yes. Oh.
And I bust her out.
Oof. Okay. So, I finished watching what I wanted to. It's more of news on the stimulus package and the stimulus stuff. I keep up on that every day. Where'd everybody go?
Well, I'm just outlining my picture. Because I
Outline?
finished
What?
the sketch.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah.
And there's
Hello.
James. Hey.
Temporary back. My dad wanted to talk to me really quickly.
Okay.
Right, what the heck is going on again?
Well, I just got back from watching my video on more of the stimulus package and the stimulus check
Oh, that stuff, yeah.
from the next round. Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I have the lava suit. Now I can walk through lava.
Yeah.
It's not streaming.
It is streaming. Oh wait, I didn't set shutter screen.
How Nick.
Here, here. See, now Emoto can look at what I'm playing with.
Yes. Nice task manager, Nick.
It's perfect, right? This is what you wanted, right?
Holy crap. I just see a very high power, very high, very high.
Hey, I mean, it's Nick. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I switched to Metroid, so she better switch off of it.
Hey, Metroid.
Why can't Metroid crawl?
Why can't you crawl right now?
I might play some Pokemon Go. We'll see what happens.
Oh, speaking of
While I'm
Pokemon,
watching.
I actually bought a cheaper version, like cheap, a $40 copy of Let's Go Pikachu, just because I've been interested in trying to find a cheaper copy.
Okay. Do you have the Pokeball Plus?
Yeah, I do.
$50 bill?
No, it was like $20.
Guys, $50 bill! $50 bill!
$50 bill.
I managed to catch two. I got traded one. Got traded one Kyogre, caught two of my own, and then caught a Groudon today.
Nice.
Nice.
Get back here. Get back here. Uh-oh. Cutscene. Magmoor Caverns. Magmoor Caverns, right? It says O-O-R. So it's Moo-er.
Hey, this music that's been reused in Samus Returns.
Da-da, S-S-T.
It's a good song.
Have you seen Nintendo Capri Sun's rendition of the song?
No, actually, I haven't.
It was during the Samus Super Metroid playthrough with
Oh yeah, with the Runaway guys.
yeah, one of the other guys, and it would just be like Chugga was fighting these creatures, like these pirates, and then he was just like they were TVs, and then Tim would be like on beats like, and I was watching television, and then Chugga just could not keep himself together because every single time that beat would happen.
Sugar did the mothball, right?
They did what?
He did the mothball, right?
The mock ball
It's a speedrunning tactic.
in Super Metroid?
Yeah. After several tries.
Yeah, possibly. No,
Basically,
I know
I
he did the
think-
bomb jump. He definitely did bomb jumping.
He did bomb jump, but I believe he did mothball, which is, you know what mothball is, right?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it, but I just don't
I think-
know if he did that or not. That's the thing.
Proton John demonstrated to him, and Chugga, I think, spent about 15 minutes trying to do it, and then he eventually got it.
All I know is that he managed to do bomb jump, which even I couldn't have done back in the day. But then again, this thing's sinking. Then again, I was only like 10 years old, and I have like when I first tried Super Metroid, I think. Not 10 years old. I think I was older. Either way, I just didn't have a big attention span to that stuff unlike what I am now.
I remember in Samus Returns, there was an item that I saw that was way up in the ceiling, and I decided to bomb jump for it.
Oh,
it
oops.
took me it took me a while, like I think half an hour to get used to it, but I got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was hard though, but the timing in Samus Returns is weird.
I'm not surprised. I do want to try more Metroid games.
Try
Probably,
Fusion.
huh?
Try Fusion.
I do actually have one. I actually, funny enough, I actually did play through most of Fusion, but there was a point where I stopped after a certain point, and because it was hard to go back because I forgot many things. I do have an official copy, and
Well-
funny enough, so here's the thing. Fun fact, Carl.
Okay.
So the Metroid Prime on the GameCube actually contains a way to play the original Metroid legally.
Wait, on GameCube?
On GameCube, yes.
So we said Metroid Fusion?
No. On GameCube, you can play original Metroid back in the day.
You're on Metroid Prime.
On Metroid Prime, yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, there are always the classics, which back in the day you could with the Game Boy player, but on Metroid Prime, you could play original Metroid. However, it's really convoluted a little bit to play it. So so I learned that you have to have a copy of Metroid Prime, legal copy on GameCube, on a memory card. And then you need to have the Game Boy player in the slot underneath it, so you have to be connected with the GameCube, and you have to have a copy of Metroid Fusion. However, that copy of Metroid Fusion has to have at least one file that has completed the game, defeated and everything. Not 100%, just defeated the story.
Just complete the story, and that's
Yep.
it. Also, what beeping sound? I keep thinking that's my phone charger.
Oh, that's a scanner probably.
Yeah, because the scanner sound effect I think is the exact same sound that my 7 Pro uses for its warp charge sound
Aha.
effect.
What?
So whenever I just hear, I'm like, wait a minute, is that a phone? So I was gonna say that Metroid Fusion is a fairly linear game.
Yeah, I lost interest in it not a little bit, so I need to go back and play it more.
You can play it on stream.
Ah, yeah. I'll
It's
see.
not too long. It's not too long of a game. You're
Yeah.
not 100%ing it.
Yeah, no, there's a few games that I want to try playing, and I think Metroid Prime is definitely the game. I think the Metroid game I want to try to complete because it's been on my to-do list for a while because I actually did play a lot, and I did play 60 to 70% of echoes, and I think that's with some scanning. So I could be like maybe like 50% through the story, but I think I was really close. I was pretty close to finishing up Echo's story. But yeah, I've been wanting to oh, look at this, orange. But I really have been wanting to like complete Metroid Prime, at least a Metroid game. So maybe I'll play original Metroid, because NES Metroid is actually any NES game you can you can complete that within a few hours in one sitting.
So, why not play Zero Mission?
I don't have Zero Mission. That's on the Wii U, so I could technically buy that. I think that's on the Wii U, right? It should be on the Virtual Console. I know that there's a couple Metroid games on the Advanced Wii U shop. I just don't know which one they are. I think it's Fusion and Zero Mission.
From what I've heard from a lot of people, Zero Mission is just a better version. It's just straight up the better version of the original.
Is Zero Mission supposed to be the original?
It's the original, but just with Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion controls. And abilities. So you get the charge shots, you get the speed booster, you get the shine spark, etc.
Shine Sprite.
Not shine sprite. We're not Mario in here.
I mean, we could. I do want to try to do 100% Super Mario Sunshine, because that's also a game I never got to complete 100%.
Do you want to get a postcard?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Wait, you do know what happens when you get 100%, right?
I saw Chugga Conway's Let's Play, and I forgot what happened.
You want me to tell you?
Sure, I guess so.
It's nothing exciting.
I mean, I know it's Mario 100%ing Carl.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that you just get a postcard. That's all you get. Like you don't get like an additional thing. Like it's not like when you just beat the story, you get the sunglasses. It's not like that. Like you don't get any cosmetic thing. It's just a postcard. You don't unlock like a hard mode of the game. It's just yeah.
I mean, technically speaking,
That's sort of disappointing.
I mean, technically speaking, the Mario Galaxy's like 100% thing. It's not even worth it, really.
Well, I kind of disagree actually, because you unlock Luigi and you got to play the game as Luigi, which obviously is a different experience.
No, isn't Luigi supposed to be like if you beat the game?
No, you have to 100% it as Mario.
Really?
Or 99% technically speaking. Like you gotta get 120 stars as Mario before you can play as Luigi.
Well,
Yeah.
I was saying like with Mario and Luigi though, it's like still it's not really much. Like to be honest though, those are still, I mean, it's bigger than Sunshine's, but still not much.
I'd still say it's a bit better though in that regard.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a different experience to play, as opposed to just a screenshot.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Luigi, there has been a huge, massive amount of leaks of SNES like a couple days ago, and now today N64 leaks.
Wait, SNES
As in
prototypes?
prototypes, every single prototype, and they have now confirmed that Luigi model in Mario 64 it has been in the prototype build. People are extracting Luigi's model, voice, and graphics as we speak.
Oh, so we can actually, so we'll figure out, we'll soon know what the official Luigi model looks like.
Oh, we actually do kinda, not the
We
face, but we kinda do already.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
you
gonna
can-
wait. I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait until they get the full model.
Oh yeah, but you can actually hear samples of the voice clip actually, Carl.
How is it?
Very low quality. It definitely sounds like it was just like done
Oh.
for a brief moment.
Well, I mean, like, is it like Beta Mario's voice?
No, much deeper.
Wait, deeper? Not higher pitch?
And Luigi's voice is actually, well, it's like Luigi's voice but deep.
That's unusual.
I mean, you can take a listen, but as you said, you can wait for a little bit. But yeah, it's out there, Carl.
Yeah, that's today.
Yep.
Holy crap.
I told you they are really at it at getting all the stuff. So
How did the leak happen?
somebody at Nintendo gave out the leak.
Is it from like? Do they just upload their archives onto a server?
I don't know if they uploaded archives, but someone at Nintendo did get all these prototype builds. So there's someone at Nintendo has leaked all this stuff, and soon they will be found out and then promptly fired.
Breach. So it's not a hack.
It's not a hack. It's straight up the official model.
This is serious. Holy crap.
Oh yeah, no, it's straight up. It's actually for people who want to know the history, good. But for Nintendo, for those employees, it's super serious. It's literally a break in contract.
That's actually just illegal. It's just straight up illegal.
Oh yeah, no, it is straight up illegal. But some people don't care.
It's I don't know about Japan's laws, like how Japan's laws work, but at least if this happened in the U.S., that would put you in jail.
Oh yeah, no, I don't doubt that.
I think put you in jail, and I think it's a few $1 million in fines. Like I'm not even joking in terms of the few millions of dollars.
Oh, I'm not. I don't doubt that.
Confidential.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, Carl. I'm just saying like this stuff is both super serious in terms of the people who want to know the development cycle of their favorite games, and as well as the whole legal issues that someone's going to have to be facing.
Where's the? Okay, I'm trying to find the audio.
I know. I saw it on Twitter before.
I'm surprised that they're not taking it down right now.
They will eventually.
They will, but the only problem is once it's on the internet, it's permanently on the internet basically, because some people will automatically have downloaded it and saved it somewhere. And plus, like development things, Mike, there's been a lot of like archives of prototype games, technically without permissions from the original developers. But at the same time, some of these games are old enough that the rights, in a sense, the legal issues are kind of expired. Yeah, they own the rights to the games, but if they're not using it for profiting or anything, it's kind of like a gray area now that they can't really do much. If it was like a brand new development game and it was like illegally showcased and everything, oh, they can take up straight up legal issues on anybody who puts it on the internet. But if it's like something like this, prototype builds that has been out for a long time, it's hard to say legally.
True.
But in terms of like people accessing it, that's they themselves are not the perpetrator. Like they can't be like the people that get their hands on it can't be held responsible if they weren't the ones responsible for the data breach.
Yep.
So really, the only people or person that that'll get affected are the ones that are responsible.
Yep.
So
yeah. It's really hard to say legally, but yeah, it's just one of those things that Nintendo will take some action. It's like the PC build of Super Mario 64. I actually have one.
That one's different though, because that one's just fully decompiled.
Oh yeah, no, that one is a little different, but still Nintendo has the rights to take it down or not, which they have.
Wait, I think that one's decompiled and reverse engineered, so that it can work on so that DirectX 12 support can be integrated.
Yep. So now they can they have a lot more PC support with it.
Which I think, in terms of modding, it would be a lot better.
Oh yeah, people have already modded that a lot. It's just that legally, it's not. It's not great.
Wait, can it run in 60 FPS without breaking the physics engine?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that.
Because I've seen like versions of Mario 64 running in 60 FPS and it just breaks.
That could be just the emulated ones, not the actual game.
But that's because I believe the frame rate is tied to what's it called? Like the physics engine is tied to the frame rate itself. Yeah. So if there's a way to separate it, then hopefully it doesn't get affected. Like that's archaic game design, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that. It's just one of those things. You just that type of stuff is just not like. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like it's kind of like, in a sense, like revolutionary especially in the design point of porting actual old games to PC, not just emulated stuff.
Mhm.
But it's just like I don't know. Legally, it's
Wait.
not great.
Wait, I don't see much of a difference between the Luigi model that's been leaked. Was it compared to the regular Mario model? It's ever so slightly different.
I
but-
mean, to be honest, Carl, keep in mind this was cut pretty early. Like not well, I don't say pretty early. They made a model. I would say it's still been it's cut before a little bit before the whole like thing was fully realized, the multiplayer. So it's like oh, hey,
Kyle.
hi Kyle.
Hey, Kyle. So, okay. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, it's just one of those things. Like yeah, it looks like Mario, but it also makes sense that it's Mario.
No, it's Green Mario. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I'm a ball.
Alright, so what else has been leaked? So you said SNES games?
SNES games like Star Fox 2, beta, and all that stuff. Like a lot more of that. And also, oh, I'm dead. I'm in lava.
I thought you had the lava suit, Nick.
Yeah, but I can still get hurt by lava. It's too hot. But yeah, a lot of SNES games like Yoshi's Island, and
Presumed Zelda 3.
I think that's yeah, no, that's Link to the Past because that's
Zelda 3
technically
would be Link to the Past, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
technically Zelda 3,
Well, wait, on SNES or NES?
SNES.
Oh yeah, I know Link to the Past is on SNES, but the presumed Zelda 3, because I've heard rumors that there was supposed to be a Zelda 3 on NES.
Probably was late in development and decided to port it to the SNES because of like it's new and all that.
There's a small reference sprite sheet.
Oh right, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that is, and I think that's also reference to Link's Awakening.
This is a weird these are weird sprites though. Like the
Oh
color.
yeah. Actually, which of those two games came out first? I'm not sure.
I think
Between Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, I'm not sure which game came out first.
Link to the Past came out first because Link's Awakening drew inspiration from Link to the Past.
yeah.
Link's Awakening, Game Boy.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Uh,
Kyle, just to give you reference what we're talking about,
Uh-huh.
there has been a huge, and I mean huge, massive leak for SNES prototype builds in like a couple days ago, and today someone leaked a bunch of N64 prototype builds, like Super Mario 64, that they finally get actual models of Luigi, as well as voice clips of him.
Wait, Bowser had legs?
Also, yeah, Link to the Past was out way before. This must be the Japanese release date, but it says November 21st, 1991. So I guess Link to
Yeah.
the Past was basically a launch title.
That makes
Pretty much.
sense. That
I
would
think-
make sense.
I think the SNES didn't come out in the West until '92, didn't it?
I believe so.
92? Wasn't
Yeah.
that? I thought
Yes.
91.
I believe
think
it.
so.
If not, then it must be late 1991.
I think Super Mario World was like the launch title of that console.
Oh, it was
I guess, along
definitely
with
the
Link
launch
to Past, and
title.
I'm pretty sure that came out in '92 in the US.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Bowser in Super Mario World had legs originally?
Leggy Bowser.
Oh, they never show his full body, do they?
Yeah.
You just see
Here.
the upper bod in the ship.
Why?
Here you go.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's one of the leaked sprites. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the
Those
top
are some thighs, dude. Wow.
thick. Those are some thick thighs.
I thought it would be funnier if he had like some awkward chicken legs or something.
I mean, those are
This guy's
technically
got like
like.
a huge upper body and the tiniest legs.
I mean, those look like chicken thighs.
Wait, a human in Star Fox 2?
Oh yeah, no, actually they had weird faces as well. Yeah. It's funny how Star Fox 2 was development for so long and it finally gets released on the Super NES only classic, which I have, but you can get one for refurbished for $70 on Nintendo website.
Wait, there's also a leak of Super Castlevania 4?
Is there a leak for Earthbound? I did not see anything like that.
I don't know. Holy crap!
I would not be surprised actually if there was a development for that leak. I mean, Kyle would be interested in that one. Yeah, no, the leak has been going on for a while, and people are discovering new things here and there, Carl. Like, there is a lot.
Oh wow. Okay, so a very early prototype of Super Mario World 2: Yoshi's Island was a Super Mario World music as a placeholder.
I mean, that makes sense. They always use placeholders, so it's not really like a big surprise there.
Wait, what's this music from Super Mario Kart? That's a very different title sequence.
Ha.
Or no, not title sequence, title music.
Super Mario Kart. I remember that. I asked Justin to play that with me, and he got really frustrated at the controls.
Oh yeah, the controls have not aged well.
Yeah, the original Mario Kart is kind of fun, but like it's so upsetting to play like against the AI because like every AI player is kind of a cheating asshole.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Especially on the higher difficulties.
Didn't we? They also have their own special items too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played it a bit on my Famicom Classic to try it. I was like, this game's pretty fun still. I think it holds up decently in its own way, but like, yeah, the racing is kind of ridiculous.
Didn't we try it on the Nintendo Switch Online? I forget. I know that Carl and I have tried it.
Maybe like once.
Yeah, I know Carl and I have tried it once.
Yeah.
No, we played it. No, we played the SNES Classic, Nick.
Oh,
You did, because that was the first time I watched Nick's stream since being here.
memories.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't play the online.
Oh well, there's no there at that time. I don't think Nintendo Switch Online was a thing with those games yet.
Like they didn't have the service yet.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't, yeah. But yeah, we've only done that like once with the Mario Kart Online, but we could definitely try that again at some other point.
Oh,
That'd be kind of a funny jump going from playing Mario Kart 8 together to playing the OG.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. The only thing is that you're gonna get super frustrated at that game.
Oh, absolutely.
There was a Pokemon MMO at one point.
I'm not surprised. Actually, I kind of wanted Pokemon MMO.
Back in 2004.
I mean, no, that was when World of
Or-
Warcraft was around. Yeah, no, that.
Oh, that sounds like the sort of thing that like it would be like those, you know, in like early YouTube when you get advertisements for that kind of thing, like Pokemon MMO. It's just some like, it's not an official thing. It's just some goofy like, weird sketchy bootleg stuff that some people are doing.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like a fan project kind of thing. That
Yeah.
might be what that is.
I mean, if there was a thing for Nintendo, I would have actually appreciated that because I think we have enough material for a actual Pokemon MMO. Honestly, the only problem is that I actually talked to a friend back in high school, who was a big fan of Pokemon about like having a Pokemon MMO, and he did not want to have a Pokemon MMO. I forgot his reasoning, but I know that he didn't.
I feel
want
like
it.
that might evolve into like a Club Penguin kind of thing, where it goes from being a like legit game to just like people memeing of trying to get like banned from the service as quickly as possible.
It's like get that speed
I don't
running
know.
thing.
Yeah, because there's just such a clash between like people our age playing a game like that, and then like younger kids trying it.
Yeah, for sure.
Too much of an age gap.
And then there would be like
I think
one-
that would just make me skeptical of online games for children in general.
it's just one of those things that some people like Nintendo have to regulate, otherwise it's just not gonna work. Otherwise, yeah. But
Wait, there's an unused sprite in Super Mario World of Luigi giving the player the middle finger.
What? Why would they do that?
I
That
don't
just-
know.
I think
that just sounds like one of the animation artists was just kind of messing around in the office.
I think
one
I
day.
think
Here.
so. I think
Here.
Oh, that's absolutely just one of the trolls at Nintendo just messing around.
uh,
Like they just like show an image of it to their coworker or whatever.
yeah. Kyle, can you meme that into something?
Oh sure. Do you have any suggestions or requests?
When we get frustrated by a game, or
Actually, let me just like Photoshop like Carl's face onto it or something.
actually, Kyle, what you could do is just like Photoshop yourself onto it, and be like, and then just do it in front of like Overcooked 2.
Oh, you know what I'll do is like I'll have like a thing where I'll find like an image of like somebody as Mario beating the level.
Yeah.
And have it be like, you know, like you beating the level as Mario, and then me just be like, oh fuck man, I want to beat that level, something like that.
I mean, we did that in like Super Mario World and as well as Mario Maker, so technically there are probably multiples.
Yeah, and Super Mario World. Oh gosh, that game is just. I'm not very good at old 2D Mario. So that thing where I died like 50 times in the same castle.
Oh yeah, and I come in and then just like, hey Kyle, I did beat it. It's like, dude, what? Also,
oh no, I actually ended up beating that castle. It's like you were finishing the Starwood levels, and
yeah.
as you were about to go to that level, I managed to beat it, and I was like, I did not think that would even happen.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. It's like I was taking my time with the Star Wars levels. It was like, and I was taking like it was taking a while, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna just beat the castle, and it's just like, dude, this is so annoying. It's like
I was just getting like so mad. I was like, I do not know if I can keep playing this, Nick, and you were just like. You were sounding kind of resigned because you wasn't sure if I was going to have the patience to continue playing the game or not.
And then you somehow push it. Oh, that's a better quality. That's a better.
I just found it within the thread. And I was like,
okay, that's much better because the first one you posted is like a very tiny image.
I mean, artists are really fast at working, and that's definitely a better one. All we just need is a pixelated Carl face.
Oh my god, I found an animation for it.
Oh, please post it. Please post it. Please post it. Carl, post this goddamn animation right now. Hold on, I need to look at this right now. That's literally 3 frames.
Oh, he's got like folded arms and then flipping off. That's funny.
So an artist just literally just was bored one night and decided to do this.
Crunch time in the office, dude.
Yeah.
Are these?
This is how like Japanese game devs endure the awful working conditions.
I mean, honestly, I would argue. I mean, it's hard to say because I never looked into like Japanese dev, but I would say based on like the work conditions for for Japan, and like I hear like with like work and the culture, it's like I kind of feel like the game, like people can argue saying that the game, like Japanese game dev can be like more strenuous than American game dev crunch time.
Yeah, it's like even in the US and stuff, like it sounds like game dev is quite a physically and mentally demanding job. Like, later,
very.
Especially late in the process. So in Japan, I imagine it's just like that up to 11.
Oh, yeah, that is a real thing. I saw that on Twitter. That's on Star Fox 2.
I didn't realize that was a real thing.
I remember. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna say you can literally make the you-know-what face from Pepe's. Or Fox's.
Yep.
But yeah, one funny trivia I've heard about Metal Gear Solid 2, because the Metal Gear games, there's a lot of just weird, quirky humor and a lot of attention to detail in those games. And there's one segment where 2 of the characters who are like an engaged couple are basically arguing back and forth about like, oh, you never have time to spend with me and blah blah blah. And it turns out that like all that like arguing about the relationship dialogue was stuff that was it was like Hideo Kojima pulled that directly from his real experience because he was like so busy working on that game that it was like affecting his marriage.
Oh, yeah.
And so he literally just like wrote down stuff that his wife was yelling at them when they argued and then just wrote it as dialogue in the game.
Yeah, no, it's actually very true because I've heard many stories. And more so for like actual the American developers. So I don't know about the Japan, but I know for a fact that many people have had marriages lost because of game dev. Their health work till literal exhaustion, which is normal in Japan culture, unfortunately, and as well as literally losing your friendships, like almost pretty much losing everything in your life just to complete one game. And it's not well, those things are less common now, especially back in the compared to back in the day. But it was a real thing, and it's like development is okay to one point until you have to like, oh, we have to develop and finish this game within a certain time frame because delaying a game costs a lot of money, and a lot of resources. And so companies, especially indie devs, do not like to delay anything, and crunch time starts like literally a year before you have to submit your game to the public.
Yeah, I've talked before about how brutal the development process of Night in the Woods was, because that game was made by a very small team. I mean, that was other circumstances going on as well, but that game was almost not finished because of tensions between the people making it.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's unfortunate that is a, I guess you could say, in a sense, common thing to hear about, but it's just unfortunately one of those things is just, yeah, it's not
Yeah, I mean,
liked.
thankfully that game was successful, and it seems like that's led to better material success for the guys who were making it, because they were struggling very much financially at the time. But
Yep.
since then, I think the dev team behind Night in the Woods and some other developers that they're friends with started like a worker-owned like game dev cooperative. So like, you know, they basically own their own company, their own work. So they're not so much at the mercy of like publishers exploiting them and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest problems with publishers. You get more money, you get more budget, but if you can't develop well enough without that.
Hey Nick, take a look at that. Take a look at the latest one. Take a look at the latest.
What is this from?
This is from Link's. This is from the source code in Link's Awakening.
I love that. Kutsu Ocarina fuck shot. The reason why it says that is because it's like a... If you were to write hook shot in katakana, it would be fukushoto, because there's no hu or like hu
Yeah,
in
but
Japanese, and so it's written as fu, and so you just transcribe it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the devs knew what they were doing with that one too, and that was just like an office inside joke.
I think I'm pretty sure it's like
Be like, oh, the fuck shot.
I mean, it's actually pretty funny with I've seen a lot of developer commentary with like, well, developer like old like prototype stuff with newer games, and you could just tell that the developers like I would say it's actually nice to see some developers joking around with some of the source code and stuff. I mean, they obviously will change it, hopefully not too much, and they change it later, but it's just one of those things like, with development being stressful as it is, I think it's nice for developers to do a little bit of inside jokes here and there. And besides, source code is one of those things, it's just like, I don't think many people are like little children are gonna experience unless they are really getting into like development of games. Also, I forgot how linear this game is actually. I wonder why. I wonder why I guess like my attention span to this game was really, really bad. Cause I actually now I can see, like, after not playing this a while, I actually can figure out the puzzles really, really fast and explore everything. So it's like, I guess I really had a really bad attention span for things.
So okay, so Mario at one point used to wear a helmet in Super Mario World when he got the
What?
cape. Like the cape power up used to have Mario wear a helmet along with the cape.
A shelmet.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, like, wait, that's a cape though, right?
Yeah. Here, hold on a sec.
So it's a cape, so it's not like it makes full.
Well, no, but I mean, like, but the thing is, like, you can literally just fly straight down to the ground to cause an earthquake.
Oh, I guess that was way too much for, in a sense of programming an earthquake.
No, no. The earthquake is in the final game. You just have to fly like really high up and then just hold straight down. It's just that the helmet is just a nice aesthetic that they didn't use.
It makes sense, actually. Oh, I mean, I guess like that in a sense took less resources, or they didn't really have full-on reason to have it in the game, I guess. So yeah.
Any memory issues? Like they just didn't have enough memory?
I wouldn't say enough memory. I think they just didn't find any like reason to have it. Is all. Now I'm killing the babies.
So when did the leak start happening? Was it
Literally,
yesterday?
well, N64 starts today, SNES started either yesterday or 2 days ago. It's pretty recent, Carl. You can find a lot, and people are still discovering new things as we speak. What is this? Oh, this is from Yoshi's Story, right?
Yeah, but I mean.
Whoa, that is a creepy. That's even worse. That looks like a game from that's like a fan project nightmare of Bowser just coming towards you. I feel like.
Yeah, that's why I said swoogity swooty.
Swiggity swooty, coming for that booty. Or in Kyle's sense, swiggity swooty, coming for your digits.
Oh my god, what is up? Why are all these programmers just constantly throwing in the F-bomb in their code?
As I said, Carl.
Programmers.
Yeah, as I said,
They get
it's
frustrated
fun.
with code.
Yeah.
And they figure nobody else is really ever going to see it, so.
I mean, Carl, it makes a lot of sense.
There's a lot of hidden content in video games that I think was originally just kind of
for themselves.
Yeah.
They just kind of make developer in-jokes a lot, I'm sure.
Carl, have you ever seen my code? Literally, when I coded, I literally just kept saying the same words. Like, it's like, I hate you. Or it's like, gotcha. Or like, F you. Or like, piss off.
Okay, here's the thing, Nick. I get those feelings. I get those feelings a lot, but never but I always hold my standards.
You guys leave back
So that-
doors for yourselves too.
It's-
as an insurance policy.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I'm just trying to keep mine up to a certain standard, you know, so that whenever someone
Certain
code
standard,
reviews,
my butt.
what? Like so that whenever someone reviews my code, they're like, okay, I know what this thing does, instead of, you know, it's like, oh, okay, I have no idea what this thing does.
Well, yes, Carl, I do it for grading. I change it for the grades, but I'm just saying, like, when I develop, during I develop, I literally add those in just because I get so frustrated, so bored, and I just wanted to have a joke for myself. Literally, I had so many friends look at my stuff and just, like, laugh at my code, and just like, why did you name it this way? Because I wanted to. That's
Oh, so
literally
like
what
this-
I would say.
Like this comment right here in this assembly code.
Pete's code.
I'm sorry, but these are two very big hacks because I don't want to fuck with Pete's code.
Who is Pete? It's
Oh,
from
no,
Family
it's probably
Guy? Peter?
No, it's probably a programmer at Argonauts.
What's Argonauts?
Argonauts, dude, was it Argonauts Games? Co-developed with Nintendo to create Star Fox.
Oh, okay, got it.
This
Like,
basically this,
wait, the original Star Fox? Yeah, probably.
both Star Fox and Star Fox 2.
Yeah, probably. I would not be surprised.
So I'm gonna assume that someone was it that guy, Pete? I think
Yes,
it's probably a
that
staff
guy.
member.
We all know who you're talking about.
Yes.
I mean, Carl, I could go beat Star Fox 2 again and see the credits and see if I can find a guy named Pete.
True.
And see if he
Peter Griffin.
Pete, yeah, I was gonna say Peter Griffin, but and see if what he is in terms of developing.
This comment.
This looks like a Kid Icarus thing.
I think this is still Star Fox.
Not surprising.
Holy crap, these guys.
Carl,
They must have been really frustrated.
development, especially back in the day with a lot of those games, I think were a bit, like, it's gotten better. Still not in the make it like a dream job like everyone thinks it is. But it has gotten better, but back in the day it was worse, Carl. Like you like remember, like programming games like NES games only took like a few months. So you basically were at crunch time from the very, very beginning.
Right.
So, yeah, and SNES games were a lot more and all this stuff. And remember, Star Fox 2 was a huge improvement over Star Fox 1.
Right. Oh, okay. So, all right. So earlier you were mentioning about Mother 2. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I
there's
figured.
A beta map. There's a beta map.
That's
that
what
was
I
found.
figured. All right, send it to us so Kyle can gush over it.
All right.
Oh my god, dude. So I knew you were just gonna be like, oh, Mother 2, wow, but said Kyle his mother so much.
Wait, did you say you love your mother so much?
I said because he likes Mother so much.
What is that?
Oh, what?
I don't know.
That kind of looks like Saturn Valley, but at the same time not.
Saturn Valley, or it looks like a early version of like the cave at the very end of the game. Or actually, it looks kind of like Magic Ant, maybe.
No, Magic Ant has more. Well,
Magic Ant has more color and stuff, but
then again, it could be like originally like sent you
Yeah.
to a different area. I
in
guess.
general, this image reminds me more of the kind of style of like Chrono Trigger than Mother 2.
I would say that they had the same developers, but they did not. So.
Nah.
Is this real? One sec. Just want to make sure.
I can't Oh, I can open that with the missile. I can't open the purple with the other one. Oh, hey, beautiful. Oh, you hit me. You're not beautiful anymore. You need to get a spanking.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Is this? Is this real?
Actually, Carl, now that I think about it, if there's a bunch of N64 leaks, we might see some canceled games.
Do you think we might find some 64 DD games?
You could see some more like early Mother 3 stuff as well.
Yeah, as well. I was thinking that because there's a huge N64 leak, so there's definitely possibility of that actually now.
So do you think if
Oh
by
yeah, that's
some
the one I
miracle-
saw. That was
Legend
like
of Zelda Dreaming Island, interesting.
that-
Oh, maybe is this Link's Awakening?
That's definitely Link's Awakening. I remember seeing that because it has the same sprites ish.
In 1993.
Yeah, that's around the same time as Link's Awakening. I think Link's Awakening wasn't it like 1994, 1995?
It was 93 because I looked up that date earlier.
Okay, so that is basically Link's Awakening. It looks like they changed the name a little bit late into development.
This was primarily programmed by Capcom, I believe, and was supervised by Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Chozo lore. As the great poison reaches even further, the planet, the Chozo begin to feel gnawings of despair before it is too late. We now make our last stand. We have begun to build a temple to contain this darkness darkness, Kingdom Hearts. And at its heart, we will place a cipher, mystical lock, powered by 12 artifacts and filled with as much power as we Chozo can harness. And we wonder, though, even when we are done, will it be too late, and will the power of the temple and the cipher itself prove strong enough to hold back the poisonous tide that even now swells within the ground, threatening all life? Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to get to the next area boss, and we can save there and move over and call Justin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So we are still playing Mario Kart 8. That was the plan, right?
Yep,
Is
that's...
Justin going to be doing that with us?
Yeah, he says he has a list done and everything,
Okay.
so I'm guessing so.
Well, no, I mean just like, is he also going to be playing the game with us?
I am not sure if he is.
I
I mean,
don't know if he has Mario Kart 8 or not.
I mean, we could just drag Carl into it too, just randomly.
To play the game with us, or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he'd necessarily be in the commentary though if he doesn't have a list.
True.
What kind of list is it?
Top 10.
Our top 10 games of the 2010s.
So like basically
2010.
last decade.
Like as in because, you know, we're in a new decade now. Doing our list of the games of the past decade, because we considered doing that earlier this year, but we've just now gotten around to doing the podcast
I don't know.
thing.
I don't know if I'll be able to
Yeah.
play Mario Kart and commentate at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the funny thing, because like, I'll make a joke about this during the podcast too, because it's like I was just like, hey Nick, it's like yeah, when we like make our podcast, we can play games that are really like low key and chill and like not too distracting when we're like doing commentary. And Nick's like, do us play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I'm like, all right.
I mean, that's relaxing for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's good show.
It's like Kyle would say, it's like, all right, my number one game is 4.
Dude, what the fuck? This mofo has nothing to do with my strats. Came and took the shine.
Oh my god, record.
That's like one of my favorite like complaints of mine that's appeared in that channel.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like that's like the most me thing to say. this mofo who has nothing to do with my strats.
You're
I'm just imagining showing like that phrase with all that slang in it, like showing that to like my coworkers.
oh, they would
who
be
teach
so.
English, and they're like, Kyle, what does this even mean?
Oh, yeah, they won't know the slang, right?
Well, the word mofo and the word strats.
Oh, strats would be a lot less like knowledgeable for those, but I think they
yeah,
would
you
know.
could just explain that means strategy. Explaining the meaning of the word mofo is like,
I don't want to get fired right now.
Well, not even that. I mean, they don't like Japanese people and like my teachers don't necessarily understand the implications of profanity as much because
I can attest to that.
they
actually.
don't really have it as much in Japanese.
Do they not
Yeah.
have it in Japanese?
I can attest to that actually. When I was with my host
Yeah,
family.
it's like in Japanese, like they don't really have just
Swear
words
words.
like fuck or shit that are just like straight up bad to say on their own. Like
Instead, it's
in
like four
Japanese,
phrases.
the way. Yeah, it's like the way in Japanese to be like rude or insulting is just to like talk to people in a certain way, like like talk to like a superior in like a very informal way, or like
Like you talk
using
them
certain
down.
using certain rude pronouns to refer to them,
Yeah,
or there are some phrases here and there, like you could say like drop dead or like eat shit and stuff like that, but
I mean,
It's-
technically,
you like when I've seen like a movie before where like the word say like the phrase "fuck you" is said in English in a movie, and
Yeah.
Japanese they would just generally subtitle as like "drop dead" in the rudest tone possible and things like that.
I mean, technically speaking, those words were never originally like made to be swear words. They just had different meanings until people
In
now.
English?
Yeah, in English until people
Yeah.
nowadays made it to like what they are now.
Right.
So, I guess in this, it's just more about our different era culture and stuff like that. Saying like, oh hey, let's move, because this is just makes it sound cooler and all this stuff, and we're using it as insults and all that, and which is why we dubbed them as swear words, but originally they weren't. Like the S word was more of a like literal crap around you.
It was actually it's from a different type of English back then. Before I forgot which I forgot which country took it over. It was like after a war happened, the two English languages actually merged. So there's a reason why you have like the word supper and dinner. And you
I
have,
wonder what's for dinner.
like there's a reason why you have like two versions of a single word. Like crap or poop and well shit.
I think supper dinner is related to like regional differences, and like in some places like supper actually means like a small meal eaten before like a later dinner time, so but yeah, that's always kind of a difficult thing to explain to like coworkers, because they'll like always ask me like what does this word mean, or like which one of these is correct, and I'm like it's kind of hard to explain to people from Japan that English is a language spoken in many countries around the world, and so it like always changes all the time, and different people from different areas like speak it differently.
It's a
Whereas,
hodgepodge mess.
Japan has a lot of dialects and everything, so there's that. But like,
But it remains consistent.
even then, it's just
though.
small little island country. Like, it's like when one of my, you get that a lot in general, where you as the one foreigner expected to represent like every Caucasian person in the world. Like, a teacher approached me and she's like, Kyle, for the sake of my lesson, I want to ask you what is the most popularly eaten Japanese food in America. I'm just like, America's a big country, dude. And I only lived in one part of it for my entire life, so
It's also that's like there's a lot like people have different preferences. Like you could say
Yeah.
sushi is the most popular, but I've
that's
also
what
seen
I said, yeah.
yeah, I've also seen like a good chunk of people in my life like say like they absolutely hate sushi. So it's like
And Japanese people who don't like sushi, so
yeah, so it's like one of those things. It's just hard to say. You can also say it's
It's
just
like-
like ramen too as well.
That too, yeah.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
will say-
cup noodles.
Come.
I will say, back when I was in Japan with my host mom.
Yeah.
My host mom was pretty much okay with me showing her like kitchen nightmare videos or and stuff like that. Like she was pretty much just laughing because of how silly
Wait. I need to check this picture better. Hold on, give me a second.
Wait, what?
I need to hold on, pause. I need to look at this picture. What does it say on it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Course cleared, baby. Dude, what chip you have? This level was PS. And he just flips it off. I mean, that's generally how it goes.
But now we get the Luigi sprite.
I mean, it's official technically. I say
Pretty much is
Post on the
official.
meme channel as well.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It's just like it is technically official, but at the same time, I don't think Nintendo fully approved it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of those things. It's just like you could say it's official, but I don't think Nintendo would
If that
acknowledge it.
sprite had existed before, that absolutely would have been used in all those like Mario parody videos that were big in like the late 2000s.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, look at that! Look at that shadow, Carl.
Oh, look at that shadow. Actually, that's pretty cool. Is that really?
That is meta Ridley. We saw it at the very, very beginning.
Pretty meta, dude.
For her.
Hold on, is the save? It's down there, yeah. But first, I want to see if I can get over there.
Also, Grace got 9 more followers on her Twitch channel just during her stream today from playing Final Fantasy.
Oh, really?
Kind of funny. Yeah, it's like she plays like really popular games like that, so it's just like people actively seek out to watch Final Fantasy streams, and so
Not surprising.
she gets followers that way.
She's also like has a it's like it's also one of those things. It's just like there's a people. It's like, oh look, a girl playing games with a camera.
Yeah, she got at least one of those was a thirst follower, because like
Oh, God.
there's like some dude who like started posting comments in the Twitch chat, like he looked up like a WikiHow article on questions to ask someone that you're interested in.
Wait.
like-
A wiki how?
This guy's just instantly like, hey, where are you from? And she's just like dropped where she's from and stuff, and the guy's like, oh cool. He's like, I'm from here. And like totally expressionless, is just saying this stuff, like no question marks or punctuation. And then he's like, what do you do for fun? And she just like shares her hobbies or whatever. And then out of nowhere, just like, got a boyfriend. And Chris like just like ignored that and just kept playing the game because she was getting a bunch of other like comments about the actual game.
Yeah.
But I was like, there it is. Like, there's so many people like that on her channel that just like, it's like blatantly obvious from the beginning that they're just like a thirst watcher, but like, they try to act as if they, you know, like, they don't have those intentions for like 1 minute, and then they just like drop the act completely.
Oh yeah, no. Remember that time?
There was some dude in her Grand Theft Auto stream a couple days ago who kept trying to tell her to like Google porn stars names or something.
Seriously?
What?
Yeah, she muted them though.
Yeah, no, remember that
That's good.
time where that guy was just like, hey, you play GTA? It's like, yeah, occasionally. It's like, dude, you should add me on the like PlayStation. And it's just like, it's like, I mean, I will try to later. Yeah, I'll try
I
to.
mean, I'm sure she's used to this. Like, I think she gets that kind of stuff on her like her social media too, so she just kind of like tunes it out or mutes them. Or
I
whatever,
mean,
but
that's good on her. I'm glad she's
there was
doing
one guy that was just like, if you watch like her Journey stream, it was just like, oh wow, this game looks really interesting. And then there's just like a pause for like a minute. And he's just like, hey, this is kind of for, but you're really cute.
I mean, she could take that as a compliment, at least.
There was also like one guy on one of her other Grand Theft Auto streams where like this dude kept like really persistently like asking how old she is and like while complimenting her.
Wait,
And so me and like
that's
every one of her
really
real life
creepy.
friends who was in that stream, we just like made fun of the guy relentlessly until he left. Or we were just like, she's 55,000 years old, and just like kept trolling them basically.
I did not check the Twitch chat until now, but apparently Grace tuned in right when we were talking about.
Yeah, we're just making fun of goofy Twitch viewers.
Oh, that was she just tuned in at the perfect time.
She must have heard.
I mean, all Nick and I have gotten is just like people flaming us, like the last time we did like the podcast stream.
Oh, all I had was some trolls, some here and there, and it's just like, but other occasionally like some actual like I have some good like actual good like like good followers and stuff like Rogue
Yeah, there's
during
been some
Yu-Gi-Oh.
alright ones on my channel too.
I've been
I
here
don't
since
usually get random viewers on mine because they play more obscure games, but on like Pokemon and Night in the Woods, I just occasionally have fans of the game.
Yep. Also,
Just
yeah,
come in and start talking about it.
yeah, she was here since when we started talking about her. I guess
Yeah.
talking about Grace literally summons her.
It's the Grace signal.
Grace signal. Is she like a superhero? Just like talk about Grace and she comes running into the exact moment. And then she was just like, oh, hey.
I mean, dude, haven't you heard of the Marvel Blockbuster official _ Grace?
Marvel Blockbuster. What's the superpower? Or what's a tragic backstory?
Inhaling
Isn't
all
that
food in
everything?
sight.
What?
Isn't that everything?
Yeah.
Sure, it's just not Kirby.
Kirby inhales anything. Grace inhales food
I mean, I think
specifically.
her Nintendo Switch avatar still is Kirby. I could be wrong.
Is it Kirby?
Yeah, I think so.
Stop eating me, you beetle.
There we go.
Oh, this is like the jam in like Magmore Caverns music.
Yeah.
That you hear every single time you enter a hot area in Samus Returns.
I really... I was actually discussing this before, Kyle. Like, I want to play more Metroid games. And at least until I complete Metroid Prime.
I've never played any of the Prime games besides part of Hunters on the DS, which is like a not good one.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, okay.
But Super Metroid is like the classic one. That's like definitely one to check out.
I want to be...
I've also played Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance, which is also a really good like 2D Metroid game.
Grace, it's Samus without an E. So...
Seamus.
She said Seamus. You want to be Seamus? You mean the WWE
Finnegan.
wrestler?
Seamus Finnegan. Here, hold on. Let me. The full name is actually Seamus Aaron.
Samus Aran.
Now you just... No, Kyle, now you have to Photoshop Grace's face onto Seamus.
Onto Samus. Oh my god, dude.
Samus or Seamus, either one would work.
Grace would be hard to Photoshop because she has very long hair.
All you have to do is cut
Like
her.
generally, like you and Lissa are really easy to Photoshop, and so is Justin because you guys have like either short or just very straight hair.
Yeah.
My hair, even using the magnetic tool when I'm like drawing around, it has so many struggles with curly hair.
I mean, all you could do is just shave Grace's like hair down a little bit. Like, give her...
I think I will not do that.
Well, you don't want to make her bald?
No. I mean, she probably has at least some short hair on her Instagram, I'm guessing.
Or maybe, is there a picture of her with like a hat on or something? Maybe that'll make it easier.
Probably. Shave my head? Ha ha ha. That's what she says.
Save your head.
I've done that to Sean before with that one meme where he had the beard.
Yeah.
Where I just made him bald
Chet
because not
Hanks.
all of his hair was in the frame.
Yeah.
Chetting.
Chad Hanks.
Chetting.
Oh my god, Grace on Chet Hanks.
Oh,
my God.
that's gonna be
I'm not going to
weird.
do that.
Unless she requests it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I forgot to tell a couple days ago that Karl Marx as Chet Hanks is actually an emote on my server.
Oh.
Wait, what?
yeah, on my Discord server, the one I use for streams. Like, I made a like Karl Marx Chet Hanks, one of the emotes.
Oh, I think she's
Called like Chet Marx or something.
I think she's actually questioning what is Chad Hanks.
Chet Hanks is he's Tom Hanks' son, and like I made a bunch of memes of him. I think you've seen
there
like
he
one
is.
or two of him, Grace, where it's like
Oh my god.
he oh, did somebody post it?
I have Discord Nitro, so I'm able
yeah.
to post it.
Oh right, but yeah, Chet Hanks is one of Tom Hanks' children, and like he just looks like a total tool, and like around the time that like Tom Hanks and his wife were in like Australia and got coronavirus, like Chet Hanks just made this video where he's just like on webcam, like in his like apartment or whatever, just being, oh hey, like my parents are like not even that sick, it's all good guys, we're not tripping. And he just like he decided to make this video of him like shirtless and wearing a backwards cap, and he's got like all these like trashy tattoos on his upper body. like people were making fun of it online, being like saying like this dude's like upper body looks like the back of a dollar bill and stuff.
I mean, he has the Illuminati sign and all.
Yeah, he's got like the Illuminati thing, which I guess is making people like go a conspiracy theory about it too, which is I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah.
Certain parts of Twitter and YouTube are pretty bad.
Twitter is a bad area unless you know what
Conspiracy
what to do.
theories have just become like the mainstream theories now
Because it
among
generates
certain
most views.
segments of conservatives.
True.
It generates a lot of views. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
So yeah, I made a bunch of memes where I was photoshopping other people's heads onto Chet Hanks for fun. So that's a thing.
I mean, a lot of us. There's a lot of faces of us. Don't you have a whole folder of us or something like that?
I absolutely do.
Which way do I go? Oh, I didn't go this way. I tagged Justin just to see if he would respond, and we're gonna have to wait to see if when Justin's ready. I'll put it at 10 o'clock or close to 10 to say we can start the podcast.
Yeah, my Switch is within reach, so I can just start playing whenever.
Yeah, you can switch right away.
Good job.
It's been a long time since you actually did that.
When
No.
are we getting a soundboard of just Kyle saying "Good job"?
Yeah,
Wait till Nick gets enough
working
enough
on
money.
that. What?
Oh, no, I was gonna say wait till Nick gets
Support
enough money.
Retroband Podcast on Patreon so that Nick can get a soundboard.
That's gonna cost like $500. At least, well, okay. The soundboard I'm looking into, which is used by a lot of streamers and stuff, is like usually around $400 to $500. But with the virus going around and everything, it's basically went up to $1,000.
Oh god, that's... I mean, I don't know. I guess those professional Twitch streamers make quite a lot of money, so...
I mean, it's,
Well, I think it's an issue of parts. Like trying to get the parts assembled and stuff like that, and having it shipped, all the while being safe, is pretty tough.
that and
You look like you're playing some Metroid Prime pinball right now.
yeah, I have to do this.
That is a game that exists.
Yep.
It looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, but in 3D.
I'm trying to time it. I'm getting worse. So that's the guy who wasn't banned and can't do rhythm now.
Who is that remark toward? Because, like,
Me.
I don't know. I haven't read sheet music on paper in years, and, like, yeah.
There we go. I mean, you still know how to play the trumpet, right? The fingers and everything?
Yeah, I could play if I needed to. There was one time that I did at school, actually, because, I got voluntold by a coworker who, like, doesn't understand how playing a wind instrument works. So, she did that classic Jet ALT gets thrown into an awkward position thing where it's like, oh, you said that you played trumpet in high school over 5 years ago. Well, that must mean that if we throw a trumpet in your hands right now, you can play for us. And so that's basically what happened. They like tried to get me to like, I got brought to the band room of my school to like play with them for a bit, and I was like, this is the thing. And like I struggled, but I can still like read the music and play the notes and everything. But like I had no, stamina on trumpet anymore.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
I tried to play for a bit. I played with them for like 10-15 minutes, and then I found out the reason why that they had brought me there for that was because they wanted to ask me to play with them at like a baseball game that was like 2 days from then. And I was like, no, you can't do that. 1, I have plans to travel this weekend. 2, I'm in no way prepared for that. 3, if you're going to volunteer me for something like this, you need to give me, like, very far advanced notice and, like, time to practice. You can't just, like,
Yep. Also, Carl, speedrunning tactic that was only in the original GameCube version. You can jump up here, which would skip a lot of things and help you get a certain piece of your suit before when you're supposed to. But
Yep, your sequence break.
yep. Also, but yeah, when I tried Carl, remember the like Boston music that we had to play for Pasadena, right? That
Oh,
had
yeah.
that had a lot of high notes, even for second trumpet.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I remember my chops were like we trained that throughout the entire year just to practice that.
Yeah.
And I was pretty good at that, but after like a year of not playing that song and I decided to just go back to it a little bit, my chops were so like that was like they're still during high school. It's like my chops were so um were hurting so much after that. It was just like, oh man, I forgot that I don't have the stamina anymore or the posture of my lips anymore.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
do I have some stories similar to that. I remember there was one time, like in my senior year, like I think we were just doing a bit of fundraising for band because like that was the year we went on our trip to New York.
Oh yeah?
And so just like on a weekend, like on a Saturday morning / afternoon, we had like a bake sale at like the local farmers market near like a shopping mall in my hometown. And basically it wasn't a mandatory thing at all. Like our teacher was basically just like, all right guys, if you have time and want to like come play, we'll just like be there at the farmers market, sell some baked goods, and like people who can play will just like play like some pep band songs or whatever. So I showed up for that. It's just like some other people kind of came and went throughout the day, but I was one of the only consistent people who was there for like from like 9 in the morning until like 3 in the afternoon or whatever.
Oh yeah?
And I was the trumpet player, right? And then we had one other trumpet player who came to support the thing, but she couldn't actually play her trumpet for whatever reason. I think it's because like she had like divorced parents and had like a back and forth situation, and
Oh.
her trumpet was like in her other family member's house or whatever.
Oh yeah?
Something like that. And then we had like a flute player and like a clarinet player and like another clarinet or something like that. So can you just imagine the imbalance you would have in a band like that consists of one brass player and just like a couple woodwinds? Like,
Oh.
basically all you could hear was me when we played.
Yeah, that's
And,
like that's so unbalanced.
And we had one percussionist show up who like I guess for a while we didn't have any drums or anything until our band teacher had like a moment he could pass on the bake sale table to like some parents so they could like drive to the school and pick up some snares or something.
Oh yeah?
So for a while our percussionist he had his drumsticks and he just played it on like an aluminum pan or something.
Oh
Or
yeah.
like a tin foil tray. Like he just kind of played the beat or like play it on a table or something to give us some percussion.
Mhm.
And then some other percussionists showed up and they just kind of came in and they were just like in super chill mode. They're just like, hey. And we were like, hey, want to play with us for a bit? And they're like, oh, we were waiting for the band teacher to get the drums. And we're like, okay. And they just like walked away and disappeared for some reason. We just kept playing for a bit and they just walk over and they're just like eating some apples from one of the farmers market stands. There's like, those apples over there. Those are some good apples. And then they walked away and left and never came back for the rest of the day. Even after our teacher brought the equipment. He was just
Wow.
like,
Talk
where'd
about
so-and-so
creepy.
go? And we were just like, they just kind of disappeared. They just like went to the mall or something.
Talk about creepy.
Yeah.
No, it was funny. They're just drummers being drummers. But I had to play all day for like, that was for like 5 or 6 hours, excluding a couple breaks. So by the end of that day, it was a Saturday, my lips were chapped for like the rest of the weekend. We're just playing for so long is like the only like lead part in that band arrangement. So like, I just had to play so much, and like, by the end of it, I could barely even like make a note with my trumpet anymore.
Oh yeah, no, that's like at the point where I would be able to do anything.
Yeah,
Oh hey, I remember this
that
little
was a funny
area.
memory. Thanks for tuning into the Band Stories podcast, everyone.
Yeah. Oh man, so much. Chozo lore. I don't think I ever been to this in my original playthrough, so this is actually a new area for me. Because I actually am doing this slightly out of order than what I did before. Damn it, the great poison. There's always this great poison. Tesla's fallen Chozo will not flee from our duty even if we suffered. These creatures will pour into 12 the artifacts that when brought together, the lock that holds this great evil at bay. In the depths of the planet, oh, is this the Phazon? Yeah, this must be the Phazon. Must stand up all to might come to assault, to preserve the power, to protect those who meddle own designs. We will spread the artifacts across the land, hiding them from prying eyes. The lock must never be opened until the day comes when the disaster can finally be put right. So basically, Samus opens up prematurely.
I just learned recently, just in my studies, that Cholzo is the Japanese word for sculpture, and I'm wondering if that has any influence on naming that character in Metroid.
I mean, they are statues, right? They're like literal statues in Metroid, so I guess that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, in Super Metroid, they're like statues, but one comes to life as a boss battle.
That's true, yeah. When the darkness discloses premise, going toxic, and at times it looks to our eyes as if the light coalesces into the figure of a woman burning brightly. The woman says, "He's back and whence this prophecy came past. When the light recedes, the Chozo's long vigilance and containment will finally come to an end." Okay, so I can't do
It's a
anything.
mouthful.
There's a lot of lore to Metroid that, yeah. All right, let's see. This is like the final boss battle, I believe, area. If I'm reckoning right. Oh yeah, I did get one of the artifacts. Chozo artifact acquired. This is the artifact true, the first of 12. Wow. I only have 1/12 of this game. Collect it and then scan the totems here for clues or locations. Remaining artifacts together. The artifacts will open a path to the center of the impact crater. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Hey, look, I scanned only 44% of the stuff. Ruins. Grove, light flies. Where are you guys? I'm just gonna download all you guys. Magmore. There's so many. Huh?
Colored pencils. I haven't shaded in a while with colored pencils.
I thought you said you haven't shaved in a while. It's like, Carl, when did you grow out your beard?
Just imagining him with just like a straight up like Santa Claus beard right now.
I
No,
mean-
a
On
Manchu.
quarantine
No,
look.
no. A Manchu beard.
Manchu beard? What's that?
It's like the very thin, it's like skinny one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just
The quarantine beard.
Yep.
I didn't realize you added Justin earlier.
Oh yeah, I did
You
add it.
added him and then also had chat marks below that. Why did you... Dude, does Justin not check the channel where we literally said we're going to do this today?
Yeah, I guess he didn't.
I don't know if that means he's not ready or...
Hold
I
on.
guess we'll see.
That's a donation icon, but it's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna be worth it.
Yep.
How worth it? Like $1 million worth it?
Yes.
You should put that art in a museum.
It belonged in a museum.
You belong in a museum.
I'm not that old.
You belong in a museum. You belong in a museum. There's a character in League of Legends that makes a reference to that line.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you can like there's hotkeys that you can use to just make certain like for them like say their certain one-liners.
Oh.
And, like, if you just keep hitting the hotkey over and over, it just keeps starting the voice line. So it'll be like you belong in a museum. It's just like shut up.
He's like, stop! I already know.
You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. Shut. You remember that?
Oh.
Wait, what was the song that you were humming yesterday? The clip ended in what?
Oh, it's like, hey, hey. What?
What's the matter with your hair like?
I don't know what the song is called, honestly. James might know what it is.
I don't know what it's called either.
Hey, hey.
What?
What?
I mean, you could look it up. It's probably in that clip of video. Someone should
Yeah.
know what it is.
They
Though.
should have referenced it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So the way that I'm shading is, because it feels a lot more natural than what I did on the computer.
All natural.
100% organic.
Carl's going all naturally.
I know what the song is. Come and get your love.
Is that what it's called?
Come and get your love.
I guess
Yes.
that is it. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Thanks.
What?
What?
What's the matter with your face? So someone was just bored at that moment just to like make that one clip.
To be fair, a lot of things were made out of boredom on the internet,
I mean, yes, you're not wrong.
and also Japan.
How
Japan
many
is-
That was not in
haven't been on
Japan.
the internet?
No. I'm talking about like a lot of things in Japan was also kind of just made out of boredom, I feel. It's like, oh, what's this commercial about? Oh, okay, it's one of this. Like, I saw actually a bunch of people react to this one Japanese commercial that they thought was syrup. And it turns out, it's just medicine.
It is syrup, sir.
What?
Basically, they thought that the commercial was about thought that they were advertising syrup because they were just drinking, but they were just drinking the bottle.
Turns out to be blood.
Huh?
But no, it was just medicine from a bottle.
I mean, as long as it's effective to get the person to buy that stuff, then yeah. Boredom.
Why did Emoto just link pen pineapple apple pen?
This is
Because-
what happens when people are bored.
Pin pineapple apple pen.
I guess that is a board, like a purely like a thing that guy just made out of sheer randomness. I got the pen.
Apple.
I got an apple.
Ugh.
Apple pen.
I mean, from the outside, that seems like the silliest and most like goofy video ever, but in reality, like the grammar structures used in that video are like the extent to the English that most Japanese people can use after a full education in that country.
Really? Actually?
I have a pen, I have an apple, apple pen. That's like about the level of English that people will master in their education here.
The average
Unfortunately.
Japanese.
That
The
is
average
sad.
Well, that's pretty much the average Japanese, though.
I think Emoto is just like shocked at that now.
I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating, but like,
You say kind of, but it still has some
yeah,
truth.
I mean, there's a dude I knew at Western who I'm not sure if any of you knew him, but he was this guy named Andy who's like he's half Japanese,
No,
and
I
like
don't
he
think
spent
so.
most
No,
he
I
spent
don't.
most of his childhood in Japan, and he was one of my neighbors in freshman year, so like and yeah, so like he lived in Japan until he was like 15 or something. Like his dad is American, but I'm not sure if he like grew up with his dad or something. Like
But what kind of hair did he have?
what?
What kind of hair did he have?
Hair?
Yeah.
In the later years at Western, he kind of went for like this kind of undercut situation.
Did he have glasses?
No.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so he's like half Japanese, and like Japanese was like it was like his primary language growing up and stuff. So like, I think at one point like he was just asked about like, cause he made a comment saying like, I pretty much had to learn English in 2 years when I moved to the U.S. Like, I just, like, learned it in high school and picked it up. And people were like, wow, that's, like, really impressive if you had to, like, progress that fast. And they were like, but didn't you, like, learn English in school growing up? And he was like, dude, the kind of English that Japanese people learn in school growing up is just like, this is a pen. Is this a pen? And I thought he was kind of joking, but then I, like, moved here, and, yeah.
Well, now you can confirm that it's actually that.
Yeah, he was not exaggerating at all with, like, how poor the English teaching is here.
I mean, Grace.
So he basically just
this.
did have to, like, develop his English very quickly when he was, like, 15.
I would sleep, it says Emoto. I mean, technically speaking, Kyle, didn't you say like a lot of your students would sleep in the middle of your class?
Yeah, well, I work at, like, a really dead-end school, but it is just kind of a general thing here that, like, students at, like, all levels of schooling can just totally sleep all the time, and the teachers will just ignore that. Like, they really don't try to do anything about it.
It's not like in the animes where they make fun of them.
Kind of.
In the animes.
Yeah, in the animes.
Speaking of sleeping,
Hey, Nick, did you watch, like, teen Nick shows growing
know-
up? Like, shows like Drake and Josh or Nessie Classified or whatever?
Actually,
There's only one
Do you
teacher
think
that I-
those schools are all realistic, like, simulations of American middle school or high school life? Because that's basically what anime is to Japan.
yeah, it is. What,
Has
Mike?
there ever been that one single teacher out of any of the others that actually try to help the kid?
What do you mean?
What do you mean by help?
I'm not sure how many of you have watched Yu Yu Hakusho, but that one teacher that always sticks up for
Oh, yeah,
Yusuke
that guy.
Urameshi.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember his name.
He's one of the early characters who actually helped.
What I see at my job is only, like, a small little fraction of, like, what happens in, like, the life of school here, but, like, I mean, homeroom teachers here do kind of take on, like, they're basically, like, a surrogate parent to the kids, like, because homeroom is a thing, like, every day here, and the homeroom teachers always gotta, like, you know, help the kids with whatever. They're the ones that get contacted when a kid has to show up to school late and stuff, so, like, there's a lot that especially goes into being a homeroom teacher here, but, yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on the teacher. There are definitely some of my teachers here who are, like, a lot nicer to the students, but there are others who just kind of trash talk the students behind their backs, like, all the time. Like, I hear a lot of gossiping and, like, rude teasing of the students when I'm in the teacher's room at my school.
That sounds rude.
There are some kids who are easy targets, like the ones who are, like, you know, born in a country that was not Japan, tend to get trash talked about a lot.
Like you, basically.
The one, no, not me.
Oh, really?
students.
Oh, students.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking students who, like, Japanese is not their first language.
Got it.
But that has to be rare, though, isn't it?
At any given time, the entire time I've been at my school, there's been, like, at least, like, 1 or 2 students who are, like, born and raised in the Philippines or another country, and, you know, like, I'm, like, one of the quote-unquote good foreigners because I'm, like, a white dude from the United States, but, like, not 100% of Japanese people have good feelings towards people from other Asian countries, so...
That's actually not surprising.
A bit of, like, superior. I don't know. Like, they think that it's all, if you're not in Japan, you don't know the culture that well, kind of thing, or whatever.
It's more so, like, I don't know, I'll just be like, when you get here, you can make the mistake of assuming that, like, English teachers are more, like, open-minded and globally informed.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not always the case in a lot of ways. But, like, I don't know. I have one English teacher who'll just be like, just be talking to me about, like, whatever. We'll just be, like, chatting about stuff. And then out of nowhere, just be like, Chinese people are really loud and annoying and I don't like them. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. That just gets thrown into the conversation. So yeah, stuff like that happens.
I'd probably be really awkward. Like, that would probably be a really awkward moment for me then. If
It'll be
yeah,
awkward
I mean,
for anybody.
I've heard stories of, like Asian American jets or people of, like, Asian descent who get, you know, like, the treatment that you get here is like the ALT can be a lot different depending on your like racial or ethnic background.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure if I ever did it,
I think it's actually something that comes up in like jet interviews oftentimes for like jets who are of like Chinese or Korean descent. You'll be like, you know that there might be people, especially of older generations in Japan, who don't like your ethnicity. Like, how would you react to that?
yeah, no, I would thoroughly say that with mine, if I ever did the jet, I'll probably get a lot of racist like judgment at me just because I'm Korean.
There's also times where it's just like people see that you're Asian and assume that you are Japanese, and so you won't get like the sort of like for
You won't
a
get the
white
look.
ALT or something who like
Like, you
doesn't
won't-
understand much Japanese, like
Yep.
it's obvious that you probably won't understand them, and so they'll like talk more slowly with you or whatever. But if you're like an Asian ALT and you're talking to somebody and you don't understand them, they're just like, well, fuck. Is basically what happens.
So like there's some students where like someone will just like walk up and start talking Japanese to them and they're just like slow poke. Hold up. Or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one thing I've heard from like the kind of elderly teachers at my school is like when they talk about like the like some of the Filipino students at my school, like they'll like make like rude impressions of like their voice and their accent and stuff, or be like, I try to talk to the kid Filipino kid, and they'll just be like, wakarimasen, which means like I understand. And I'm like, the reason why they're probably saying that to you isn't so much because they can't understand anything you're saying. It's probably just because they think you're a jackass and they just want you to leave them alone. And that's why they're just acting like they don't understand anything you're saying, because they're just kind of tired of dealing with asshole teachers.
Yep.
Hmm.
Probably.
That's how I like gather, especially because like I kind of do the same thing now, where like I'm just kind of tired of people talking down to me at work, so I'll just like, honestly,
gotten
just try
that.
to avoid talking to people who don't like me in general.
I've kind of gotten that experience before, but not in Japan, but rather with Japanese exchange students that came to college. Was it through, what's it called? Through the culture club?
Mm-hmm.
My God, it just seems like they don't want to speak Japanese, like to any student that's learning Japanese. Like
Well, if they came to the U.S., like a lot of those kids want to practice English, and that's why they don't want to talk to you in Japanese.
yeah, but like give like the nice greeting. Like that's the thing. You actually have to ask if you want to. If you want to do a proper introduction. It's like, okay, fine. Is essentially the general reaction.
Yeah, I mean, well, in the classes that they take there, like they're in like full English immersion classes where they just are expected to talk in English all the time and not use their Japanese at all. To like the Western students they were talking to, so like a lot of them want to be able to like make American friends and like talk to them in English while they're there. Like if you ask them if you could speak to them in Japanese for a while, they'd be cool with that, but they come to America with the understanding, and also the program they're in gives them the understanding that they should like try to use English as much as possible with the people they meet there.
But the thing is that the club they have to voluntarily come too. So it's like, okay, if they come here, then why do they not, if they come to the Japanese like cultural exchange club where we're supposed to practice Japanese, why are they there if they're not interested in speaking Japanese then?
A lot of them still want to speak in English to people they meet there, though.
And
Yep.
they're in the wrong place. Then.
There's also like the people who come to JCC, like they're Western students who came to that at a different level. So there are some that like the students will be used to the idea. There are some students who are just then learning like the very basics of Japanese and need like a lot of like the students will have to explain things to them in English, like.
That's what we split into
There'll be
groups.
kids who are in like Japanese 101 who like don't really know very much Japanese yet, and so the AAP students were used to the idea that they might have to like help people with conversation a lot.
Yeah, but that's why we split into groups though, so that we can ease like that kind of transition, so that everyone's welcome, in that kind of sense. So no one kind of felt like no one feels left behind. I don't know, like as JCC has gone by, like with the later years, it just seemed to get worse. Like in terms of like the students that came. Which is a shame, because the first the first 2 years was actually really good.
I mean, I only did it in 2016 and 2017. But,
Yeah, those were the good years, I think. From what I can tell.
the good old
What?
days.
The good old
But
days.
I experienced one of them. I experienced one in 2017. That one's really good.
I mean, there are always those best years, and there's always the off years.
You have an initial
I mean, when you say
introduction.
the years, that's just like the cycle of students who are there at the time. But
Okay, so to answer your question, Moto, yes, we did, but there weren't many, like, AOEP students that came.
JCC was very like it.
We weren't taken seriously.
You say
that's the
guidelines,
issue.
but JCC was like pretty chill. Like
Yeah, the thing is that we weren't taken
you
seriously.
just kind of
as-
show up and are just like, let's talk, and they'll give you like a prompt or an activity to do. But a lot of the time, it really is just kind of
Dude, just talk. Yeah, because the prompt is just optional. But so the issue with JCC, at least like when the torch was passed, we weren't taken seriously as an actual club, which is weird. Like we tried to get the word out, but we were unable to.
JCC was not always like JCC and AOAP were not advertised as well as they could have been at Western.
Yeah.
Like it could feel kind of like a very exclusive thing at times. Like I didn't do AOP volunteering until my senior year there, and I actually found out about it because I was just trying to do like a Google search of JCC and like when it happens, because it had been plugged like once or twice in the Japanese classes I was in, usually just by people who were in it, who would just casually be like, "Oh, JCC today," like, you know. So like just before my senior year started, I just Googled like our university name plus JCC, and accidentally came across AOAP and the volunteering opportunity from that. So like, I don't know. It's like most of the people who did AOAP and JCC is its own thing, but most of the people who did AOAP stuff were like either people who are taking Japanese classes who met some of like the AOAP students and got involved that way, or TESOL students who are forced to do it.
I actually did. I think I did AOAP volunteer at one point, but then I had to stop because of my computer science degree.
I did it
So-
once, and then the person who was
Wait,
I
you
was
did?
trying. Yeah, I did it once volunteering wise, but the person who I got really did not care about anything other than just completing what he needed to do. Like I tried to
Talking
be
like
nice.
community friend stuff,
like
campus friend program.
sorta like I was a volunteer for like helping an AUAP student and stuff like that. But the only
Or did you do like classroom volunteering, like in their classes?
no, just like yeah, I think it's campus friends where they just like hang
Campus
out.
friend, yeah, that was a different kind of program, but yeah.
Oh, actually, I remembered I had like 3 AOEP students that needed to go to.
Wow, I'm cheesing this boss.
Shadowing, yeah.
Yeah, they needed. Well, it's not quite shadowing. Rather, they needed to go to, like, a non-language class with an English friend, so that they can get certain credits or something like that, or some sort of project.
Yep.
But in any case, I volunteered,
It was a
And-
different class, yeah.
and guess which class I took them into?
Computer science.
A computer science class.
Specifically, CS 247.
Oh god dang it, Carl. That is
Even for
like
an
the
operating
worst
system.
class to get into.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it actually didn't necessarily have to be a non-language class. I actually, I had some AOAP students shadow me for Japanese classes before, and it was pretty chill.
I think they specifically told me that it could not be Japanese or language specific. It had to be something.
I think for
different.
some they have to do like, it's probably like the maximum they could do is one Japanese class with a friend, because the point is that they see like what Western classes are like in general. Because I talked to some who like went to like a psychology class and they were like, dude, I did not understand a single thing they were talking about the entire class.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I had to translate for them.
I had
Like, I-
one shadow me for a Japanese class, but then like I just kind of told them like my other 2 classes I was taking at the time were like not something they'd be able to follow at all. Like if this one student had shadowed me on the day they were supposed to do that like activity where they go with Western students to their classes, that day I was in my film studies class in which we were watching clips from and having a discussion of Reefer Madness, the movie musical, which would have been quite an interesting film to show to AUAP kids. The film in question is basically like a really over-the-top and ridiculous musical that was made of a parody of like an anti-weed propaganda film from the 30s.
Wait, An anti what?
Anti-weed.
Anti-weed.
Oh, weed. I said weeb.
Marijuana, sorry. But yeah,
Anti-weed.
it was like a Reefer Madness. The original one was a film from the 30s. It was like a scare campaign made by like Christian parent groups of like basically telling kids if they smoke weed once, it will like destroy their entire life, and they're gonna like become homicidal maniacs or become like the scary black people. That's basically what the movie was.
So
Like
it's
this kid tries weed and it makes him so riled up and crazy that he gets in a car and runs somebody over while driving.
okay.
Like that's what that movie is. And then he like gets taken to court over, and the guilty verdict drives him so crazy that he jumps out a window and commits suicide. Like the movie was so ridiculous. The original one. So the movie we also watched a parody of it, which was made in the 2000s. Of like, dude, Reefer Madness is such a ridiculous movie. Like, but it's at first it started as like a Christian parents movie, but then in the 60s and 70s, some like stoners found it, and it became like kind of an ironic part of stoner culture because they thought the movie was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And so they remastered it in color, where like all the weed smoke is like purple and pink and stuff. And they'd have moments where like marijuana leaves flash across the screen, or like the first time the character smokes weed, like 420 appears, like it blinks in as like a subliminal message. So basically, like some like stoner film fans like parodied the movie
Oh,
while
really?
keeping like the original source material.
Interesting.